Hi everyone, today we'll be talking about how we can use mindfulness as a superpower to be able to reduce anxiety as well as reduce stress. If this is your first time here, hi, my name is Parky. I'm a postdoctoral fellow in clinical psychology at Stanford University, and I've been studying and practicing evidence-based mental health, which includes mindfulness, for the better part of a decade. I also tend to be a pretty mindful guy myself, so hopefully I'll be able to share something useful today with you. So I want to start this video off by saying actually the primary purpose behind mindfulness isn't inherently to reduce anxiety and reduce stress. So mindfulness is different from relaxation exercises where the point of relaxation is to reduce physiological arousal. It is to reduce and bring down the fight or flight response by calming our breaths, by slowing down our heart rate through diaphragmatic breathing or guided imagery. The point of relaxation therefore is again to reduce anxiety. However, mindfulness is really just all about observing what's going on in our surroundings and noticing what's happening in our mind, in our body, and in the environment. It's about noticing the anxiety, noticing the thoughts and worries. So when I'm practicing mindfulness with my patients, I can often hear a lot of different responses. Some patients are like, wow, that was a really amazing exercise. I felt so much better. I felt so much more relaxed and calm. Like it was an amazing experience. Whereas other patients might be like, wow, that was actually really hard for me. Like I noticed my thoughts were racing around. I noticed there was a lot of tightness and tension in my body. It just felt like a really bad experience. And in both cases, I usually take a very non-judgmental approach. I say, that is amazing. Like, that's great that you noticed that was your experience in that moment. And the reason why I have this response is because, again, the point of mindfulness is not to necessarily reduce anxiety that may happen or it may not. Really, the whole point of it is to just be able to notice what is happening in our body, what's outside of our body, and just allow the experience to just be. Like, we're kind of an observer on a mountain watching our experience down from below. So the reason why mindfulness can still be so darn helpful for anxiety and distress, even though that's not its primary function, is because it creates, first of all, a psychological distance between you and the experience. When we take an observer approach, we're basically saying, hey, I'm over here, and the worry and the anxiety and the negative experience is over here. So instead of feeling really fused with your experience, feeling like, my worries are me, I'm consumed by them, I'm consumed by my physical sensations of anxiety, I'm saying, I'm noticing I'm having a lot of worries. I'm noticing I'm having lots of negative sensations in my body. And that creates, again, the psychological distance that then reduces distress because now you're kind of saying, I'm over here, and the anxiety is over here. So a second reason why mindfulness can be so helpful is by taking more of a non-judgmental approach to our daily experiences. So typically we are very evaluative in our daily lives, like we're saying, this is good, that's bad, my history score is great, my biology exam was horrible, I'm worthy, I'm worthless. So constantly we're making these evaluations that can sometimes increase our distress. So for example, in the context of, let's say, chronic pain, the pain itself is going to be painful, but if we have a judgment to the pain and we're like, I hate this pain, it's absolutely horrible, we create what we call secondary arousal to the pain. So we're experiencing pain because of the chronic pain, and now we're experiencing secondary arousal because of our reaction. So in mindfulness, we're able to take away our reactive impulse to make sort of these judgmental statements and really just sit with the experience just as it is without adding the second layer of suffering. And one way that you can practice this non-judgmental approach is just to sit with the experience for a moment, to see if you can just notice what's happening in your body or in your mind, and seeing if you can just describe it and say, oh, I'm noticing some tension in my neck right now, or I'm noticing that my arms are feeling kind of heavy, instead of kind of ascribing a certain level of value towards it or judgment towards it to say, oh, and this is horrible and I hate it and I'm so tired, to just see if you can describe your experience in a very non-judgmental manner. And a third reason why mindfulness can be so helpful for reducing anxiety is because anxiety, when you think about it, is very future focused. We're worried about what are some of the things that could happen in the future, but mindfulness in and of itself is a very present moment experience. You're right here in the here and now. So if you are right here in the here and now, you're not worrying about the future. You're not ruminating about the past. You're just sitting here being present to your current experience. And the way that you can do that is just by participating in your daily activities. Like if you are listening to me right now and you're fully immersed, that in and of itself is a type of mindfulness. Or if you're listening to music or you're taking a walk and you're being in the present moment with all of nature, that's mindfulness. So with mindfulness, you're really doing your best to stay in the present moment. And if you notice yourself going to the past or going to the future, to see if you can bring yourself back right in the here and now. A fourth reason why mindfulness can be so helpful for reducing anxiety is through its principles of non-attachment and letting go, where we are never trying to hold on to a specific thought or experience, and we allow these thoughts to pass like they were leaves on a water or clouds in the sky. You can use whatever imagery you want, but sometimes it can be quite helpful to take more of an observer approach to our experience, like these worries and experiences, and treat them just like these leaves on a water or clouds in the sky or little packages going through a conveyor belt. We just allow them to pass and not hold on to any experience for too long. And the final reason why I think mindfulness can be helpful for reducing anxiety is that it gives us the self-efficacy to be able to deal with life's problem by being able to respond in accordance with our values rather than reacting to our urges and our worries, where essentially we're able to be able to face the facts of a situation, notice what's going on in our environment, take a pause, and then proceed with the right actions based off our values. And there's a really beautiful quote by Viktor Frankl, who wrote Man's Search for Meaning, that between stimulus and response, there is a space. And in that space is our ability to choose our response, and in our response lies our growth and our freedom. And I think mindfulness is the superpower that allows us to adequately see the space and clearly see the space between stimulus and response, and then be able to act in accordance with what is truly important to us rather than reacting to our urges and our negative emotions. So in terms of actually how to practice mindfulness, there's like a million different ways you can practice mindfulness, as long as you are staying present focused, non-judgmental, and really being aware with intention of your present experience. Like if you're listening to this video and you're really focused on it and really present in this very moment, then that is an act of mindfulness. Or if you're taking a walk, or if you're driving and you're not on autopilot but you're actually like focused on the act of driving, listening to music, all of those are different types of mindfulness in our daily lives. But certainly you can also do more formal meditation practices. You can sit for 5 minutes, or lots of videos on YouTube and everywhere else where you can practice the mindfulness. And remember, there's no good or bad way to practice mindfulness. You're not doing it right or wrong if you're having a positive, pleasant, or unpleasant experience. You are being mindful as long as you're being aware of what's going on in this very moment.
A few moments later.
Whoops, had to change locations. Anyway, if you found this video helpful, I encourage you to subscribe because I'll be continuing to talk more about evidence-based mental health as well as mindfulness in the future. Until next time, take care.